Right.
Hello, beautiful people. I'm Sudhamai, your communication coach, and I'm back again with my Be Spoken and Be Heard's pep talk. Well, Be Spoken and Be Heard's pep talk for the month of November is all about guests who will be speaking about their accomplishments. And these guests are all young achievers and they're striving hard to, make something different from their usual life. Yes, we are all in our own life and we are all in set of rules, but these kids, or I should I say achievers or stalwart of big thinkers, are crossing all the barriers and making things done in their own way. Well, today I have with me Aisha Siddiqui from Abu Dhabi, and she is, of someone who is passionate for learning, and she's spreading into e-tutoring, not just for her peer group, but throughout the world, across the world. She's trying to give her best through her academy that she has founded, Siddiqui Academy. And she'll be speaking about this particular academy, how she is leading, her initiatives, even during the COVID pandemic, even when the world is closed and the world is locked down. Well, let's find out more. Welcome, Aisha. Welcome to Pep Talk.
Thank you so much for the beautiful introduction, Ms. Sudha. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you, Aisha. It's the same here because I'm also into e-tutoring, and I'm very curious to know how did this all happen? Where did this actually started? What inspired you to think on these, to help your peer group, especially during pandemic?
Yeah, so it all started when lockdown around March, when almost the entire world was going into this lockdown phase to contain the pandemic and the virus from spreading. So during that shift, especially in Dubai where I live, I noticed, like, of my personal observations was that a lot of schools were struggling to convert this physical model into a digital model, which proved really difficult for numerous schools to convert as it puts up a lot of challenges. And
Right.
during this transition period, a lot of students were having this gap in their learning where they didn't really understand what they were learning, or they were scared in like their Zoom classes.
Right.
And so through this, transition period, I realized that there needs to be another support system to support
Absolutely.
these students.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So to support like low income students around the world and
Mhm.
students who need help, I created Siddiqui Academy, which
Uh-huh.
essentially connects student tutors who have an in-depth understanding with students
Right.
who need help.
Okay.
So, as a computer science student and my experiences in tutoring before in both numerous school subjects as well as debate, I thought
Uh-huh.
I could link these two, different streams and create something that I can help my society with.
Right.
So I linked it to like the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals,
Right.
including quality education, good health and well-being, and reduce inequalities.
Oh, is it?
Exactly. And above all, I kept it free. So anybody, anywhere who has access to Wi-Fi can access this simple platform. And it's
Right.
just creating a bridge between student volunteers and student learners.
Oh,
There
okay.
were, yeah,
Right. Go ahead. I'm listening.
yeah. And there were a couple of challenges, as with any new platform. Like developing and designing the platform was a very exciting process. Forming the team and finding students who share the same passion and vision as me was another challenge, and creating my core team who
Mhm.
helped me run the platform.
Right.
Then another hurdle was bringing in quality tutors, because I wanted to ensure that any tutor here will meet the highest standard,
Right.
regardless of what grade they're in. So this again was another hurdle, and we had to have interviews, bringing in
Oh,
new students
right.
to ensure that we're training them consistently. And
Right.
then starting the platform was easy, but running it and running it efficiently was another hurdle that I had to look into and
Right.
continue refining again and again.
Wow. That's a quite a wholesome, roundup about Siddiqui Academy. But and you're also talking about challenges, right? So
Yeah.
who supports you? Like you cannot just be a one-man army, taking up such bigger initiatives. So who are the back-end people who work with you?
Right. So my family was obviously like extremely supportive of my project. They stood behind me, they guided me in developing the platform, they listened to my endless like criticisms of my own
Right.
platform, and
Right.
they helped me, sort of refine the process.
Right.
And in addition to my family, my teachers and the school leadership at Cambridge International School were also very helpful in providing that sort of guidance on the user experience and suggestions because obviously it's running a school, right? So they were
Right.
understanding what the student needs and giving
Absolutely.
me suggestions. So it's all for the benefit of students.
Right. Wow. So, with the challenges, of course, as you're overcoming one by one, and the minute you step into, you get come across more challenges. Every day is something that you come across of challenge. Or is it smooth? Is it easy running an app? What do you say?
I think every day is a new experience, which helps me build onto the overall experience of
Right.
Siddiqui Academy. And
Right.
obviously, there are some challenges in which I will consult my core team or
Mhm.
consult my tutors.
Right.
But after the initial month or so, it's been very refined and now it runs pretty much very smooth.
Oh, is it? Okay. So apart from your family, your friends, how crazy, like what was their first reaction when they come to know that, hey, so Aisha just came up and come up with this idea? Like, were they happy to know or like what? Like,
Well, my friends were extremely supportive because most of my friends share the same views in
oh,
quality education, and
okay.
so they were really really supportive in the idea, and they also joined the website and became tutors themselves.
Okay.
So, in addition, a fantastic group of people form my core team, which are actually some of my closest friends,
Right.
and they provide valuable insights on like user experience. They ensure the smooth running of the platform,
Uh-huh.
and we meet every Saturday to discuss the developments of the week. We
Right.
plan weekly events, we decide the next step forward.
Right.
And my team of volunteers are like essential in running the platform and catering those to the students who need it most. So I do believe all my friends were extremely supportive in
Right.
helping me run it, create new opportunities, and just an entire platform is run
Okay.
because of them.
Wow. So it's like your family, your friends, you're just talking about. Would you love to thank them on this context? Anyone you wish to thank? Anyone
I
who's
think
helping
all
you?
my friends, especially those who make up my core team, because I'm thankful for them being there and all the tutors that are on the website.
Right. Wow. Aisha, would you love to say hi to our viewers also who will be watching us right now?
Sure, hi. I'm
Right.
so happy you're here.
Right. Wow. So, hello everyone. Once again, that's Aisha Siddiqui who's just gave a quick roundup to what she's doing, and she is a founder of Siddiqui Academy. And yes, there's so many things that she is doing, and she's going to talk about it. Well, that's what Pep Talk is all about. I'm going to make her talk, come up with what other initiatives that she's been doing. And a quick fact, a quick thing that I forgot to, give in her introduction is she is a world champion in debating and quiz contests around the world, and she has won many medals, especially from Beijing, that she has competed with other countries, and she'll be talking about it right now about it. Well, yes, Aisha, would you love to talk about your other activities, co-curricular activities, especially with academic programs that you're doing?
Sure. So I'll be talking about World Scholars Cup and when I went to Beijing for their global round. So it's an interscholastic program. So first, what is World Scholars Cup? It's a celebration of learning, an opportunity for students to explore diverse topics outside the conventional curriculum that we learn at school.
Right.
So it tests students' knowledge across many subjects,
Mhm.
ranging from science, social studies, history, literature, special area, arts, and music.
Okay.
So, to take part in the competition, we need to conduct extensive research on the chosen topics, and we take part in 4 events. So that's debate, scholars challenge, which is an
Uh-huh.
MCQ on like the topics given. Then we
Okay.
have collaborative writing, so we write an essay on the topics they've given,
Okay.
and then we have scholars bowl where we do like numerous questions as
Uh-huh.
a team. So my experience with World Scholars Cup was something really unique and unforgettable. The
Okay.
competition in the regionals, which I did in UAE, is a 2-day academic decathlon. So it
Right.
encourages students to embrace the learning process and partake in 2 days of grueling events.
Okay.
Then after the regional rounds, you qualify. So there's a certain level you need to qualify for the global rounds. And
Okay.
so I qualified for the global rounds, which was held in Beijing, China.
Okay.
And for me, when I entered the UAE regional rounds, there were over 1,000 participants, and
Right.
I ranked as the second top overall scholar and fourth top debater out of those students.
Wow.
And then, thank you. After qualifying the regional round, I qualified for the global round, and so I
Okay.
flew into Beijing, China, for a week to compete.
Uh-huh.
So the round was absolutely amazing. It comprised of students from all over the world
Right.
who converged to partake in this academic decathlon.
Right.
And it was truly an unforgettable experience because I enjoyed my time there. I explored the country, its heritage, its history. I
Right.
met people and I created these global connections with people I might not have met if I didn't do World Scholars Cup.
Right.
And the experience was like none other. And I truly enjoyed my time there and I enjoyed winning there as well.
Wow, I can see that. So
Thank
when
you.
you're talking about this is all about your World Scholars Club
Yes.
championship, I guess, right?
Yes.
Right. Wow. So probably there are many moments because it's not just this trophy that you won. In fact, you also been part of a UN model,
Yeah.
and yes, and also you've been a recipient of Duke Edinburgh, right, award. So how do you take these cherish? You know, how do you cherish these moments? Like, what are the takeaways from such experiences?
Sure. If I talk specifically about Duke of Edinburgh,
Mm-hmm.
I found the entire Duke of Edinburgh experience was so phenomenal. I
Okay.
learned so much about perseverance, commitment,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt like I grew through the program because
Okay.
you have to be a very strong individual and you gain numerous new skills and
Okay.
they're really beneficial in the real world, especially now,
Right.
because the Duke of Edinburgh is a qualification and it
Uh-huh.
comprises of four strands of development. So
Okay.
there is an expedition,
Uh-huh.
skill, sport, and volunteering. So
Okay.
all of these four components challenged me to push myself outside of my comfort zone, learning new skills along the way.
Okay.
So through the program, I picked up French language as my skill
Oh.
because I found being multilingual extremely fun. And now
Okay.
I'm pursuing the DELF certification and I
Mm-hmm.
enjoy learning French as a language and it helps me engage myself and just think in a different perspective because
Okay.
I can think in another language which helps me a lot in like studies as well. And
Absolutely.
as my as my sport, I picked up golf and
Mm-hmm.
I was mentored by Ben Cannon, who is a PGA professional coach.
Mm-hmm.
And golf was such an amazing sport because I learned how to focus, be patient, analyze the various landscapes, and
Okay.
understand the best strategies to win. So it was both a physical and mind game, which I really enjoyed of golf. And I've
Right.
been pursuing it for like 2 years now. In
Right.
addition to that, the third component, which was I volunteered to teach debate to my juniors at school. And
Okay.
this was so enlightening because it helped me
Right.
brush up my own personal skills.
Right.
And because of that, I had the opportunity to participate in other competitions.
Okay.
And recently, the one I've been competing for the last month or so
Uh-huh.
was called the International Debate Competition, and it was organized by Australia.
Uh-huh.
And my team and I, we won two debates, which was extremely amazing because
Okay.
it was international and countries from around the world were taking part, sending their
Right.
teams in. So it
Right.
was really a fulfilling experience. And the highlight of the Duke of Edinburgh was my expedition,
Uh-huh.
which was done under the grueling desert, under the
Okay.
scorching sun and
Okay.
extremely cold nights.
Right.
Because in our where we live in UAE, the
Mhm.
landscape is a desert. So we have extreme heat and then we have extreme cold at night.
Okay.
So through the program, I learned skills like navigating with only a
Uh-huh.
compass in a desert,
Right.
starting a fire, pitching a tent. It was
Oh.
a tough experience, both physically and mentally, challenging me to cope with extreme temperatures,
Mhm.
limited food supplies, and the
Right.
overwhelming sense of being lost.
Right.
Because the number of times my team and I got lost in the sand
Okay.
was too much to count. But
Okay.
after that, I felt like I personally changed and I was more confident to go out and explore. I was
Right.
more risk taking through the program.
Okay. So I guess you have evolved a lot post this award and going through all those procedures. Wow. Interesting. So yes, viewers, with us we have Aisha from all the way from UAE, and she's talking about her experiences that she's still cherishing with such honorary awards. And yes, it's wonderful to know about you, Aisha. And yeah, so how about your how do you manage your time, because you've been into different other activities than school, you're still a 10th grader, so of course your studies really matters.
Yeah.
Right? And you're managing an e-learning app for your peer group, so how do you balance your time?
Personally, everything that I take on is something that I genuinely love doing.
Okay.
So making time for it becomes so much more easier because
Right.
I'm always excited to start it as opposed to like a task I need to tick off.
Okay.
So I find having this healthy balance between my studies and my passions, it allows me to be very open-minded and channel my creativity into the ambitions I have.
Okay.
Furthermore, every week I plan my week through a Google Calendar. So it
Oh,
allows me to like visualize my week and strike that balance in all the activities I'm taking part in. So
right.
maybe today I might like to my week I'll be focusing on my studies and Siddiqui Academy. Then the weekend I'll make time for going for golf, maybe going on a hike with my family or just
Right.
enjoying time. So I think having a balance
Yeah.
and doing only the things that you like will make everything so much more exciting,
Right.
and balancing time becomes much more easier.
So striking a chord with time and then enjoying your life with your family, friends, getting your things done, whatever you're passionate about. That's a wonderful, quick hacks that you have given that most of the world is struggling to find out how to manage time. And in just one line or two lines, you have mentioned that it's all about whatever you like, just go for it, but you need to schedule your time accordingly. Wonderful, Aisha. So, Aisha, how about your future projects? You're also associated with this 3R waste management, and you're a youth ambassador for this initiative. So, would you like to talk on this?
So I'd like to talk about 3R Zero Waste. It's an amazing platform that I've been part of,
Uh-huh.
where I'm the youth ambassador. So 3R Zero Waste was founded with a clear belief to do things differently when
Hmm.
it comes to waste management. They
Okay.
saw this wonderful opportunity for over 1.8 billion tons of waste lying in India since
Okay.
the independence, and that's 80 million tons being generated every year, most
Okay.
of which is landfilled or burned. So it's contributing a lot to global climate change.
Uh-huh.
And when I saw their mission and vision, I
Mhm.
absolutely adored what they stood for. So they
Right.
want to reduce this pile of waste by reusing it as an alternative fuel-based feedstock.
Mm-hmm.
By doing so, they're contributing to this circular economy, which is really a progressive stance, and
Okay.
it's backed by the United Nations. So this improves the environmental footprint, and it's
True.
saving energy and reducing carbon dioxide emissions.
Right.
So this company essentially allows me to educate students from a student point of view
Right.
and help them look at climate change as an existential threat, which it is.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so make a difference by educating one person at a time.
Okay.
So through 3 years zero waste, I'm allowed to look at the environment and help my peers,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of where they're living, understand that in the next 10 years, this is the world we're going to be living in. So
Right.
if we don't, handle the situation and handle climate change, we may not have a world to live in the next 10,
True.
15 years.
True. True.
So it is really important that, change starts now. So
Right.
15 years, 20 years down the line, we have a planet to call home still.
Right. Absolutely. So you also initiated some plastic garden in Cambridge. What is this?
Right. So last academic year, just before lockdown, I started this plastic garden at Cambridge.
Okay.
So essentially, it had two aims: one, to create a green space within my
Uh-huh.
school, and two, to create these sort of reusable, art decorations. So
Okay.
what we do is we're going to organize a recycling campaign of
Uh-huh.
recycling water bottles. So plastic water bottles that would otherwise land in our oceans,
Uh-huh.
and we take these water bottles and we take them horizontally and we cut through them. Then we
Okay.
take some compost, which we make readily at school, and we
Okay.
just plant plants in those water bottles. And
Okay.
essentially, we just hang these water bottles around school. So
Oh,
they
okay.
create this sort of active activity with students,
Okay.
allowing them to create their own mini gardens in
Okay.
which they can call. So my bottle would say Aisha. So it's my
Okay.
plant. I'm
Right.
responsible. So it creates this
Right.
feeling of responsibility that
Right.
you created it, it's yours, you have to take
Right.
care of it.
Right.
And that's really essential, especially in the pandemic when we're forgetting what it means to be human.
Right.
Having something to remember that's yours will make it so
Uh-huh.
much easier when you transition back, coming back to school, coming back face to face.
Right.
And having a plant gives you this responsibility, like this is your plant, you have to take
True.
care of
True.
it,
True.
and it makes you a better global citizen.
Right. So it's more or less like taking ownership of your deeds. Yes, especially towards our mother nation, our mother country. Right. Yeah. So there are a few statements, Aisha,
Yeah.
made by some people, and especially on coders, because you've been into coding also.
Yeah.
I've read that you are interested into coding, and since you've been a computer science student, right? So, would you like to debunk these statements?
Sure, I'd love to.
Yeah. Let's see how it is. So, coding is all about working all day on logic puzzles. How true is this?
Okay, I feel like this is true. Because in order for you to be a coder, you need to have a very logical approach to complex problem solve. So going through these logic puzzles trains your brain to see various perspectives involved.
Okay.
So to be a good coder or to be an effective coder, you need
Uh-huh.
to understand the human psychology,
Uh-huh.
and because everything that you code is designed for humans, not machines.
Right.
So understanding how the human brain works will ensure that you have a successful code. And
Okay.
currently, I feel in society, people forget the human experience,
Right.
and so I believe it reduces the efficacy of the code. So
Uh-huh.
if you work on logic puzzles that
Right.
are in touch with the human experience, then
Right.
you're linking these two things together, which ensures that you can create a code that is extremely efficient for whatever problem you're trying to solve. So if you can
Right.
remember the human aspect as well as a successful code and you merge them together, you're going
Right.
to have a flawless piece of code, which is what most coders strive for. But
Okay.
striking that balance is quite difficult in this day and age.
Okay. So you're talking about some difficulty with coding. So here's one more statement. Coding cannot be introduced into current school curriculum. How true is this?
This is false. Like, I
Okay.
am a strong advocate for the integration of STEM, which is
Okay.
science, technology, engineering, and maths, into the
Uh-huh.
school curriculum.
Okay.
And I believe that the future lies in the fields of STEM. And
Okay.
skills like coding and will be essential in
Uh-huh.
bringing strong change in the future. And
Right.
if you don't have coding in your school curriculum, you're essentially going to be laid back because in the next, if you look down 10, 15 years,
Mm-hmm.
the world will be run by machines and people who can code will be at the forefront of the industry. So
Mm-hmm.
learning how to code now will be really beneficial 10, 15 years when students like me enter the job force.
Right.
So, ensuring that having coding in your curriculum just makes you a more open minded. It
Mm.
helps you understand and it helps you complex problem solve, like I
Right.
said before.
Right.
So I feel like having STEM in your school curriculum is vital for
Okay.
you progressing.
Right. Wow. And apart from this, here comes another statement. This is all about coding, and I hope the person who has sent me this statement, he's listening to you,
Yeah,
and he's convinced. Yes, coding has to be part of curriculum, school curriculum, right?
that's
So
great.
here comes another one. You need to be skilled public speaker in order to be a debater, since you are more into academic programs. So this is for you, right?
Thank you. I feel like this is the biggest myth
Mm-hmm.
ever. And in my personal experience, I feel like to be a skilled debater, you require clear understanding of the problem you're arguing. So doing thorough research, like I spent maybe 5, 10 hours before a debate just reading up the problem and brainstorming solutions.
Okay.
Because the problem you're discussing, you need an in-depth knowledge on your
Right.
stance. So
Right.
if I'm going to say I want to ban GPS trackers in students, I need to understand why.
Right.
And you need to understand both sides of the argument. You need to understand what you stand for and what your opposition stands for.
Right.
Because as soon as you realize what both of you stand for, it
Mm-hmm.
becomes so much more easier for you to fight strongly within your stance and finding issues in your opposition.
Right.
And I feel like speaking is the secondary skill.
Huh.
First comes your argumentation and how you're presenting your layers of analysis
Uh-huh.
and the level of thinking you've brought into your argument.
Okay.
Because everybody can talk, but talking with purpose and talking with a clear analytical approach is what makes a skilled debater. So I think again, speaking is a secondary skill, and your ability to research and analyze the problem is what will make you a skilled debater rather than somebody just rambling on.
Right. So it's all about analytical skills, how you organize your content, how you present it. Right.
Yeah,
The oratory skills come later. These
sure.
are the prior. Wonderful. So how about debates are only for academic reasons, only for for schools, just for creating competition? How true is this?
False. I think debates allow you to express yourself. Like personally, I was very shy, but when I went into debate, because it was something that allowed me to read outside the school curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you go to school, you learn a certain set of curriculum. You learn
Right.
certain sciences,
Right.
certain English, certain math. But the thing in debate is it's so diverse that you can range from any topic, whether you're debating a law and math or you're
Right.
debating the sale of medicine in black market.
Right.
There is so much scope for you to read outside of school that it just makes it so much more engaging. And I feel like in debate, there's
Mhm.
always something for everybody to get engaged in.
Oh, is
Whether
it?
you're reading foreign affairs, if you're interested in politics, you can debate. If
Right.
you're interested in STEM, you can still debate. There is something for everybody. So
Okay.
I don't feel like debate's only for school related academia. It's much more than that.
Okay, it's beyond that.
It's
On
beyond.
that note, we see most of our politicians slugging on TV with debates. So is it only for politicians? Like, because debates, when we can relate, even this I had in my mind. So I wanted to ask you. So is debates only for politicians, or, to create some TRP ratings?
No, I feel like debates are essential in us moving forward in society, and
Right.
that's how it's been done since like the ancient Greeks. So, what debate is, it allows political entities to discuss their policies and
Right.
convince the public why they're right. Like, why should I vote for you? What are you going
Right.
to do? What are you going to bring? What change are you going to bring?
Right.
For example, like I adore the way United Nations work.
Right.
It culminates politicians from
Right.
different countries. They come and they discuss to solve real world problems, whether that's climate change, whether that's a Syrian refugee crisis.
Huh.
All of them debate, discuss policies, and
True.
create resolutions, which brings in real world change. And that's why I feel like, debate just gives you an opportunity to put your stance forward as well as bring in real change because you can put forth your opinions and what you feel is right, bringing in a positive change.
Right. Wow. That's true. Bringing in more positive change, expressing your opinions. That's all about debating is, right?
Yes.
And having a stand on your opinions.
Yeah.
So we are more likely to remember. This is somewhere, even I think the same, that we remember whatever we read or whatever we see through interactive quizzes. For example, KBC or any other quiz shows. But we don't remember things much from our textbooks. What would you say?
I think quiz shows like KBC are more about memorizing facts.
Right.
That's why we can remember them easily because they're like a short phrase or a
Okay.
short fact and it just sticks in your head. But
Right.
I believe that textbooks allow you to look at the broader concept and the processes involved,
Right.
which I think is easier to remember, in my opinion, rather than memorizing mindless facts that might not help you in the future. But textbooks give you that overview idea, they give you the concept, the underlying meaning, which I think is
Yes.
much more beneficial for you.
Okay. Okay. That's entertainment segment, I guess. Remembering on quiz
Yeah.
shows. Yeah. So yeah. So who are your biggest influences in your life, like in your academic? Who inspires you?
Okay, so there are a lot of people who inspire me in my different subjects,
Hmm.
but I truly feel that it boils down to my teachers
Right.
and the leadership team at Cambridge because I joined Cambridge when I was 3 and now
Okay.
I'm 15.
Okay.
So the past 12 years I've spent at Cambridge, they really molded me to who I am today
Okay.
because the environment at my school is what allows me to be such a risk taker
Uh-huh.
and allows me to be so creative because they've shaped who I am and how I think.
Right.
So obviously, I think the biggest influence in my school would be obviously my teachers and the
Right.
leadership at CIS
Right.
because everything I've done, they've always been so supportive to me.
Right.
They've shown me, how to get things done. They've shown me what path to take.
Uh-huh.
And in addition to obviously my teachers and the leadership team, I think it's my dad as well
Yes.
because he's
Okay.
always been there. He's always supporting my ambitions, and he's always there listening to what I want to do. So if I have the craziest idea and I approach him, he'll be
Right.
like, "Yeah, I support you," and then
Right.
he'd tell me, how I can take it forward.
Uh-huh.
There's never been like there's nobody in my life who says no, you can't do this.
Oh yeah.
Every time I've had a crazy idea, my
Right.
teachers, my leadership team, and my dad and my parents, they're always like, yeah, this is how you can do it. So they're always guiding me. I've never been limited, so I feel like that's a big influence.
Right.
Never limiting myself, but always pushing myself.
Awesome. Kudos to your team and your dad for all the great work they're doing on you. Yeah. So, Aisha, so what any inspiring tip, any tip that you wish to give to our viewers or who are listening to us, especially teens who would like to take their passion ahead?
I feel like if you're passionate about something, like I'm genuinely really passionate about Siddiqui Academy and I'm passionate about debate, Model UN, and obviously my studies. And I feel like if you're passionate about something, the motivation and the drive comes to you naturally.
Yeah.
And because you're so entwined with what you want to achieve,
Uh-huh.
that you're just blinded by any limitations or any obstacles you see, you find a way around it. And I feel like believing in yourself first And then finding people who believe in what you believe makes it
Right.
fast tracks your ability to push
Absolutely.
your passion forward.
Right.
And obviously, nothing will come if you don't have perseverance and hard work.
Right.
I stand by that always. Like if you don't have perseverance or if you're not hardworking, even if you have $1 million idea, if you can't put it into action, it's
Mm-hmm.
pointless. So having the motivation, the belief in yourself, and persevering through any obstacle will ensure that you can push your passion forward and that you achieve the best for yourself and
Right.
for something that helps society.
Right. Beautiful. So yes, all the teens who are listening right now to Aisha, keep this in mind. Make a note. It's all about passion, and don't give up. And obstacles just come and go, but the passion will have to be more going on with, right? Thank you, Aisha. So Aisha, I have one more fun round for you. So it's called Never Have I Ever. All you just have to show me is if you have experience, just give me a thumbs up. If not, give me a thumbs down. Are you ready for that?
Yes.
Hope you'll have a fun with this round too. Right. So never have I ever made a prank call.
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay, you're the goody goody girl.
Yes.
Never have I ever cut someone in line.
Oh, I have.
Oh, great. So you're not a goody goody girl. All right. So never have I ever pressed a buzzer but forget to answer.
I have.
Okay. Never have I ever missed a high five.
I have.
Okay, let's give a high five now then. Right
Yeah.
now. All right. So yeah. So never have I made a duck face for a selfie.
No, I haven't.
That's called a pout.
I don't.
All right. So never have I played a trivia quiz on internet. Oh, you did? Oh, okay. Awesome. I did too. All right. So never have I ever lied to my friends, after 5 minutes of late coming, saying that I started, but something happened in between.
I have.
You have? Okay. So you're a true girl. Right. So never have I ever thought I will be invited for Pep Talk as a guest.
No, I never thought. I'm really
Okay.
happy to be here.
Right. Same here. Same here. Wonderful. Thank you, Aisha, for being so sportive with the never have I ever. Well, so how is Aisha's typical day?
Right. So, if it's a school day, I wake up early. I do a couple of light stretches just to get the blood flowing around my body because I've been
Okay.
stiff the entire day.
Right.
Then I go out. I really love gardening. So I
Uh-huh.
have my plants outside. So I go water them, get in touch with nature,
Okay.
breathe in the clean air, so just to get my brain functioning after those light stretches.
Right.
Then after that, I sit down and I just plan my day
Mhm.
because I feel like if you're organized, you're more time efficient. And if you're more time efficient, you can get tasks done much quicker and efficiently
Right.
rather than procrastinating for later time.
Right.
So I plan out my day. I plan out if I have any homework, when I need to get it done, if I have any meetings, any events to attend to, or if I'm tutoring, just planning out my day, what I'm going to
Uh-huh.
do, what I'm going to do. I
Right.
see my schedule both for the day and for the week and just
Right.
add in if I've forgotten something.
Right.
Then my school starts at 7:40 and it runs till 2:30. So
Uh-huh.
I just be doing school till then. Then I just come from school, I grab a quick lunch, and then
Okay.
I start out my routine. So in the evenings, I'd probably be doing my personal studies,
Uh-huh.
or if I'm already quite ahead, I might be tutoring and helping out my peers
Right.
or someone who's booked me for a lesson through
Right.
Siddiqui Academy.
Right.
And sometimes, like it usually happens 2 to 3 times a week where I'm attending an event. Maybe it's public speaking or
Okay.
it's something to do with school because I'm part of the school government as well. So
Okay.
just, having meetings, dealing, that would be my typical day. And if
Right.
it was a weekend, I try to go for golf, maybe
Okay.
going out with my parents, with my siblings, and just
Okay.
having a bit of fun
Right.
and catching up on anything I may have missed. And
Right.
then on Saturdays, I have my weekly team meeting with my, student volunteers for Siddiqui
Okay.
Academy, and we brainstorm what we're going to do this week, any additions, any changes, how can
Right.
we fine tune the website.
So your whole week is planned, sorted out, I guess,
Yes.
with so many activities, may it be school or your app, your team, your other activities like golfing. Wow, interesting. So how about if you are not into these kind of activities, what other talents would you love to shine in apart from all those things you're doing? A bunch of things, exciting things.
In So in my free time, I enjoy gardening. So when I do gardening, there's a place in the mountains which is 2 hours from where I live right now.
Okay.
And so I go there and I just have fun gardening. So it's this huge farm sort of settlement.
Right.
And I go there and I just garden with my siblings. And
Right.
it's amazing because it's in the middle of the mountains and the weather here is amazing. So it
Okay.
allows me to relax and
Huh?
reconnect with nature
Right.
and just get down and dirty planting fruits,
Right.
harvesting vegetables,
Right.
and just having fun with the local people there as well.
Uh-huh.
Because I feel like when I meet them there and garden with them, it
Right.
creates this new sort of community feeling that we don't get living in the city. So just
Right.
going into the outskirts, 2 hours drive,
Right.
just enjoying the drive in the mountains, gardening in that farm, meeting the local people there,
Uh-huh.
and just reconnecting with nature because I feel like that's very important for you to progress,
Right.
being in touch with nature
Right.
and clearing your mind of everything. I feel like that's something I really enjoy doing in my free time.
Right. So mindful. I really feel so happy to know so many things are happening at a very tender age. You're sorted out your timetable. You're working on bigger dreams. You're making someone's dream come true also through tutoring.
Thank you so
Beautiful.
much.
So, how about any one wacky, since you're into technology, you're a coder, you've been doing lot many things, one wacky creation that you can teach someone in no time?
I can teach someone how to paint using coffee. I
Okay.
learned that through lockdown.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
that's
Awesome.
interesting.
So, yeah, one aspect you have already discovered one something in lockdown. So my next question was the same. One aspect that you have self-discovered in recent
Oh,
times.
so this what I expect, discovered during the especially lockdown and the pandemic was the importance of the human experience
Okay.
because we were all in lockdown, so we couldn't meet our friends, we couldn't meet our teachers, and we were divided by a screen and Zoom lessons.
True. True.
And I feel like during that time we really realized how important it is to see people physically.
Right.
And when I started Siddiqui Academy, the feedback that I got from my friends, from my teachers,
Mm-hmm.
really did boost my confidence so much because
Right.
that simple smile and the feedback from students when they understood the topic I was teaching,
Right.
it creates this feeling of an accomplishment and it really makes you feel so much better
Right.
that you could help someone in their difficult times because in
Right.
this pandemic everyone was challenged one way or another. Somebody
True.
lost their loved one,
Yes.
somebody's lost a job. It was really stressful on everybody,
True.
and I
True.
feel like through this human experience I discovered that we're all social people and
Right.
just having a smile can change someone's day. And I feel like through Civic Academy I really had the opportunity to reach out to these people and
Right.
make them smile and make them understand that we understand you might be struggling in school and we're here for
True.
you. Just book a
Right.
lesson.
Right.
And because it's 100% free, we reached out to so many people and it was so effective in helping them.
Beautiful. So, how about if you want to invite someone for a dinner date, since you love going out, working in gardening, spending time with your family? But what if you have to invite someone for a dinner date? I have three people lined up for you. Choice is yours. So it's Nelson Mandela, Mark Zuckerberg, or Emma Watson. Who would be your choice?
Nelson Mandela, because I really admire his perseverance
Okay,
and how he struggled to bring freedom in South Africa. And I think that's an amazing thing that he, wanted to bring a change. And although he struggled a lot in his life, he never gave up on his end goal, which
right,
is what I really admire of him. And I feel, everyone should have that quality of not giving up and just
right,
persevering till the end, no matter how many people try to stop you.
right. So wonderful. So it's Nelson Mandela, wonderful leadership, great epitome for leadership. We all
Yeah.
admire for. So yeah, here comes the most important question for you, which all my guests give in their own way, address this question in their own way. It's rhetorical, but since you've been into camping, probably you can give it in your own way, right? So what if you are stranded in an island? How do you see the situation?
So I feel like because of the Duke of
Mhm.
Edinburgh, I have a different approach had you asked me maybe a year back.
Right,
But I feel like if you're stranded on an island, there's only so much you can do. So perhaps scout out the resources you have,
right,
make the most of what you have on that island.
okay,
And I feel like if you have time, you're not going to be doing anything else. Just
right,
go explore the island, explore the terrain, how it might change from day to night.
Mhm.
and just reconnect with nature. So, pitch a tent, and if you don't
Right.
have a tent, just make it out of the leaves around you.
Okay.
And so basically take whatever experiences you have in the real world
Right.
and apply it. So if I was stranded on an island, I just use all the training I had from the Canberra and apply it into figuring out how to get off the island. Because if you're stranded on an island, people will understand you're missing. So perhaps figure out a way for you to start a fire, because that alerts
Right.
neighboring areas that you might be stranded, or figure out a way for you to sustain yourself till you can
Right.
get back.
So this is a proper, life survival skill that you are giving us right now, since you have experienced it.
Yes.
If you are an amateur and you're not, if you're naive at certain things, then probably we might be doing something else.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks for the inputs. Well, Aisha, so how did you like pep talk?
I really enjoyed my time here, and I feel like through these questions I got to know myself better as well. So that was really interesting, and I really appreciate you inviting me to speak here. It was really an amazing experience.
Pleasure is all mine, Aisha. Thank you for joining Pep Talk. It's been really wonderful knowing you, and all the best for your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So yes, back to you all again. That was Aisha Siddiqui from yes UAE, and the way she has expressed, the wonderful, beautiful takeaway that I have from today's Pep Talk is no matter what, you should give your best. Don't leave your passion. Be a passion driven person and enjoy your family, your time, whatever it is. We are right now in a very neutral environment, but still you have to use it to the best, right? And yes, there are wonderful accomplishments that she has shared with, and I hope you enjoy today's Pep Talk. This is Sudhamai, your communication coach, signing off, and I'll be back again with yet another interesting pep talk session with a young achiever who's going to share his accomplishments with us and he's going to inspire he or she, whoever it is. Inspiration is going to be something part of pep talk. Well, that's all from me. Stay blessed and bye bye, everyone.